We are recording. Rachel and André Lopes. The first pros that Zidu ever had.
Really? I didn't know it.
Conversei com o Andrezão. I talked to André before we even had an idea for a product, I think.
Yeah, it was like 15 months ago.
So I'm thinking about this idea. What are you doing? Yeah, exactly. 1 year and a bit later.
Yeah, like 15 months ago?
Yeah.
16 months ago?
In Brazil, we've made a bit of a loud noise.
Yes, yes.
And this is our first episode in English.
Oh
So
my
sorry, Fia, you are going to have to translate
Subtitles.
subtitles. So Paulo is going to use his English today.
Yes.
He has a question for Rachel. To
Oh
start
yes,
off.
the first one?
The
Okay,
first one.
I prepared this one.
Okay.
I want to know why you call us Dumb and
Dumber.
Dumber. She called us like Dumb and Dumber when we were in...
You.
No.
I mean,
we were
no,
we
you're
were
the
together.
dumb and
Yeah.
dumber.
No.
No,
Oh, man.
it's a pair.
Yeah. Tell the story.
If you've not seen Dumb and Dumber, the movie.
You can see the Kona episode as well because we put a lot of
Oh yeah, that's right.
takes in the Kona episode where we are being who we are.
Like literally, it's them two. Just like the guys in Dumb and Dumber, following them around was like, I mean, seeing them separate, different people. Seeing them together, I'm like, okay, Dumb and Dumber. It's like it is unbelievable.
It's like a serious doctor and a serious
and then
entrepreneur.
it converges into like just madness, and I'm like, oh my god,
What's going on?
I'm like living the Dumb and Dumber movie right now, like with these
It was
guys.
really funny
like,
because
When I
arrived,
driving
when I arrived, Paulo, I arrived and Paulo was like, take it easy on the jokes because Rachel is serious. No, she'll understand. And then we got into the car, I put on the glasses, and I looked at Paul like with the swimming goggles, and Paul was like, no! It was over.
I was like, immediately I turned to André, I'm like, we're gonna die in this car.
Yeah,
But it was fun. Kona was very, very fun. At least for us, but I think you were a bit nervous. But you had fun as well, right?
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. Yeah.
After the race, did you guys stay around for a while? No.
I
3
did.
days.
Rachel couldn't because she was doing the 70.3 worlds, but I went to another island, Kauai, and spent like a few days with my cousins. Which was very nice, yeah.
And now you're in Brazil.
Now
This is not your first time, right?
No, third time.
Third time.
Yes.
Getting serious.
How long? Yeah. How long have you guys been together?
3.5.
Just over 3 years.
3.5?
Yeah. We officially moved to Boulder together 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So
And then
things
got
are gonna get
stuck.
serious. When is the question gonna?
But tell us about how you met each other at the first time.
How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, I tell this story better
Yeah.
because it's funnier from my perspective. But in 2019, we were both at Eagle Man and racing, and it was like pouring down rain, like all day. And the swim was canceled and everything, and so, but we're on the run, and I was having like the best race of my life thus far, and I got second, and I just remember on the run, I see this dude running, like I was going out for some section, he was coming back in, and just looked miserable.
Destroyed.
And I I remember this image in my head, and then like a month later, we're both at Steelhead 70.3. And after the race, he's kind of like hanging around like with my group that I was with, and it's like, oh, this guy is kind of cute, but he sounds South American. Like I'll probably never see him again. He's gonna go back home, and then I get back home to Boulder, and like the next day, basically, he was at our master's swim in Boulder because he was doing a camp, and I had no idea. And so he hung around. He got out early. He hung around. And then introduced himself. He's like, oh, we should go for like easy bike rides sometime. And then I asked him out on a
You asked him
date.
out?
Yes, I
She
it was
did.
like a soft date, you know. Like I asked him out to go to empanadas, so you know, not like a fancy restaurant, but yes.
Just to see if he was worth it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Count me out.
Is it true?
Yeah, it is true.
He's
I'm a
very
little
shy.
Well, yeah, that was the story. I think I was having a bad day. Then the race, we actually met. I had a good race.
Yeah, we both had a good race
yeah.
there.
But yeah, we started dating right away.
But you had moved to Boulder.
No, I was actually my second year as a pro, and I had moved back to live with my aunt because I ran out of money, and I saved money for 6 months working as a lifeguard to go to Boulder for 2 months in the summer, and
that was your 2 months there.
that was my 2 months there.
But then he was supposed to move back to New Jersey,
Which I did.
Yeah, like for a little bit, and we both went to Indian Wells. I was working and André was racing, and we had just planned. I was like, I mean, for this to work, you have to move to Boulder, because like if you go back to New Jersey for the winter, like we're not going to see each other. It's off season, so yeah, we went to Indian Wells together. He came from New Jersey. I came from Colorado, and we flew back to Boulder together, and then 4 months later, we got stuck together in a basement.
Just 4 months? Like to move together?
No, we were only together for
3 months.
like 3, 4.
Before you decide, okay, we have to move into
Yeah,
Yeah. And then
2 months
COVID
later,
happened.
COVID happened.
Nossa!
So we got
really got stuck together.
It's like the movie idea that like, I just started dating, COVID.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Caceta.
Oh my god.
Intense. And
So
then it was...
make it or break it.
Exato. Vai ou racha here in Brazil. It's like... either you were gonna be together or not for like in the next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're still together, so that's a good sign.
And you were a lifeguard in New Jersey.
I was a lifeguard.
Did you have to
And
save?
winters.
Did you have to save any lives?
No, I didn't have to save any lives.
Ah.
Fortunately, because I don't think I was just like
I was very well qualified for the
I just
job.
know how to swim.
I knew how to swim, but I was just like trying to relax.
CPR. I don't know, but you know CPR here.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was.
But that didn't last long.
No, because I moved to Boulder and then I became a swim instructor for younger kids.
Okay.
So I upgraded from lifeguard to swim instructor for the third year.
The next level.
Next level.
And now you give age groupers lessons, right?
Yeah. Now I
coach.
coach on the side. Yeah.
Cool. And I want to know like something about your life together as professional triathletes, like how it works. Like I made it's very hard because
I think we got along pretty well. It's definitely complicated because we're both achieving to perform in races, and we waste a lot of mental energy other than physical energy as well. So it's a lot of stress when we get back home, and I am like always triathlon guy. I'm always like looking at YouTube, looking at like podcasts, and like trying to research, and like we have to balance between the
real life,
triathlon life, and just put things apart. So we have the triathlon training.
Can you put things apart?
Yes, it's hard because like you're always thinking like, hey, like our life is 24/7 triathlon. Like I mean, we kind of have to separate a little bit of time to dedicate for our relationship. But I think we did a good job. It's just like sometimes Rachel.
When was the last time you guys went to the movies?
Never. We've never gone.
You've never been to the
No,
movies.
only whenever we visit
No, we
my
went,
parents.
We
We've never gone.
So definitely,
Yeah.
so definitely more triathlon than real life.
Yeah.
But we still try to make time to like go out to, like with dinner once in a while, and
see some
we
friends.
we have friends that definitely keep us like engaged in like regular life.
And it's funny because you guys are friends with Tim, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he has like kids and everything, and he still does a triathlon life pretty.
Yeah, they have like a nanny that helps, but even with them, it's if the nanny's not there, it's a big balance of like, okay, who gets priority to go to the swim squad swim today because we don't have the nanny. And André and I are the same in the sense that we only have one car in Boulder, and so it's like okay, whose session needs the car and whose session can you go by bike or by this or get a ride from somebody else. And I think that's one of the hardest parts is we had such a different schedule in terms of training. Now it'll be very similar, but it was so different that trying to balance who's going where at what time and all of that, and that's difficult.
It was tense because both of you want to perform it. That's what you're saying. So
it's high performance.
I mean, you guys basically have to plan out which races you're gonna do and which.
Yeah. This year we've been fortunate to who sags because it's a lot involved, but I think we do a good job. And honestly, we race all the races that we go together. We do well.
Yeah.
Which
we
is
race together well.
Yeah, my first podium was whenever you were there.
Yep.
And then the race.
Your first win.
My first win. You were there, so race, and you had a good race as well. So I mean, we respect each other, and I think that's the basic principle is respecting each other and knowing that
Now here's a tough question: is it better? I don't know if you guys have had past relationships, so is it better if someone is as a professional in the sport? Do you think it helps more that he's a professional and that you're a professional, or no?
I think it probably depends on the person, but I have found that I really think it's the person. It helps to be serious with each other and have kind of similar goals, and we know that if we have to commit to something, we have to commit to something. I moved to Boulder because I knew it was time to move and to make that move. And sometimes if you're not a professional, you just don't understand those kinds of things. And going on a training camp and
for you don't need to answer because I know the answer because my wife doesn't do it, so it's much better if she does triathlon because it's much easier to explain why you're 5 hours away.
I mean, I think it's easier, but I gave up on a relationship leaving Brazil to go chase my dreams other than stay and have a relationship because I wanted to achieve my dreams, and having somebody that understands what it takes to go to that level, it helps. It's definitely challenging, but it helps at the end of the day, I think.
No, it's the positive way, but the negative way is if both are tired, mental, exhausted, and they say, "Oh, I'm very, very tired." Oh, me too. Who gonna cook for us?
Exactly.
Nobody.
Happy. What's the happy there?
Thank God for
DoorDash.
Uber Eats, DoorDash. But we found 2 or 3 go-tos of takeout food, Chipotle burrito, this quick Mediterranean food, and
Or basically your kitchen there.
Yeah, but at the beginning of a relationship, I would cook to impress her. For the first year, I would cook. I'll go to the store, and then it just start to go downhill from there. Now let's order pizza.
All the time, I'm remember when you used to cook all this
I don't remember.
But André is a good cooker. He is. For us.
He cooked for you?
Yeah.
He cooked for you?
That's what Paulo did well.
You speak English, my friend?
Yeah, I speak English, my friend. And the funny way is when we were in Kona and you didn't arrive yet, and I talked to you and I said, "Oh, come on. Come here because
arrive quickly because
they just speaking triathlon all the time, and I want to go out and visit Kona and visit Lava Field.
Yeah,
because every time
we wanted to be tourists.
Yes, because they
were focused on the race, obviously.
Yeah.
I always try to pull André out of that whenever I can.
Laser focus.
What if we do this?
We would arrive from the practice that he just spoke. We talked only about triathlon time. We arrived in the house, and he would turn on the YouTube for Sanders, for the Norwegian dudes.
Yeah,
everything. Yeah. I will say the. I mean, it's funny for me. Probably not funny for him. I mean, maybe it wasn't funny for me for a little bit. The biggest, one of the biggest things, sacrificing and knowing, in the relationship, what's important. André went to Cozumel last year, the full, 2.5 weeks after I had my knee surgery, And he was like, oh, well, you can just come. Like, literally, like, open knee surgery. And the doctor's like, no, you cannot go to Mexico.
Don't travel.
And I'm like, he's leaving me at home. I'm on 2 crutches.
Oh.
Like, I can't move a plate from the kitchen to the bedroom by myself. And he just leaves. But I knew it was important because he wanted to do this. Yes, it was a very good race.
Yes.
So
It was very important to start the following year, which was this year, which was very successful.
exactly.
And you had a very good year as well because you were recovering this year, right?
Yeah. And
So what happened? You had a knee surgery. And
and
you were coming from a good year.
yeah, I mean, it was a very like rocky, I would say, year and a half even before the surgery. Like I had a stress reaction in my right knee in 2020, and then recovering from that, I was like starting to hit like that fitness and for 2021, and right before the first race of the season, my left knee blew up, and then, you know, a couple months later we found out that it was a hole in the cartilage on the bone. So I was basically bone on bone in the knee where you're impacting, and they said you can, you know, there's a couple of different surgery options. You can try to microfracture to get the cartilage to, you know, create on its own. You can do this plug, or, you know, you can just continue on and you're going to have pain, and eventually the cartilage is going to flake so much that you'll need a knee replacement by age 40, and you know, you won't be able to run at, you know, 38. And so I decided, you know, let's take it easy for the rest of 2021. Like I used the lever system to run, like didn't run really on the road, and just tried to gain fitness to have the November surgery of last year. So it's been just over a year now to do the plug surgery. It's a little bit more involved, but it's solid. And this whole year, like we were reflecting, you know, we just finished the race, and I was thinking back, like this was, you know, a very, very slow year for me in terms of, you know, some people have a surgery and they come back really strong, and my coach has had a similar issue with her knee, and we were very, you know, conservative in the comeback, and I look at some other people now that have struggled, you know, that come back too fast, and I'm really grateful now, like even though maybe it wasn't the firepower that I would have liked this year, I'm now set up for a much better career in the long term, and didn't risk an injury coming back from that. So, and now I can get into training a lot sooner after taking a small break.
Yes.
Nice. Yeah.
Good work. Yeah. It's hard.
It was
hard.
It was really hard. Like that was probably the hardest I worked coming back.
For sure.
Like all the PT and everything is all the little things. I was like full gas, you know, trying to make sure.
Yeah,
I've seen
first eyes. Like you worked really hard, but you still got 2 podiums. You raced the World Championship, 7.3. So I'll call it a really good year.
Yeah,
yes,
for sure.
Congrats. And what about the last race?
Yeah, that was something special.
Tell us.
Yeah, Challenge Florianopolis for me personally is like, it was my first triathlon race ever. Like I did it 2015.
15?
As an age grouper. I had like.
It was literally your first.
It was literally I had like 3 months of triathlon training.
You just jumped to 7.3.
Actually, I had signed up for Ironman Brazil. Ironman Florianopolis.
Yes.
That was my first initial move.
Drunk.
Yes.
Yeah. Before I even had a triathlon bike, I signed up for Ironman Brazil. And that was like,
why you did it?
Because there was a friend that like we went to college together, Gustavo. He did 2 Ironmans, and I was like, dude, like how does it work? And so the Ironman happened in Florianopolis. So for me, it was like I used to live there because I went to college. I was like, oh, how does that work and everything? So I got excited because I was like endurance sports and I like running, and like it's like, oh, okay. Like then I was like staff in 1 year, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. But like I see people that are older than my grandma finishing this. I think I can do it. Like I don't think it's a big deal. And like I think it's possible to go under 10 hours. Like it's not that hard. And my friend could not. I think his PR was like 11 or something. Anyway, it was expensive to do an Ironman. So I saved some money.
Still is.
It still is.
More.
It's getting more and more.
Worse, yeah.
Anyway, I lived in Germany. I got some money because I had an internship there, and I signed up for Ironman Brazil. And I got back from Germany. I think it was August 2015, and started training. But then my coach at the time, Gisele Bertucci, she was a pro.
She looks like Paul.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was end of the story. Like I started with I didn't know how to ride TT bike, and I never swam, I played soccer, played tennis, but always competitive. But then I just started it was this kid who was basically crushing everyone in the beginning. All the guys from Florianópolis, who is this kid? I was kind of a little bit fearless, just go and not respect everyone, but always I'll see someone running over and faster.
Who you had to respect.
Yeah, exactly. So
Just
that was my first race, and then it was coming back there after 7 years, literally 7 years from 0 to winning a race, and having all my friends there on the cars cheering me on, and it was really special.
Were there friends from college from the time that you went to school there?
Yeah, the funny part, there was a friend that was I used to study with him, party, everything, and I passed him on the race, and I didn't know he was racing.
Oh my god!
It was so fun. It's Tulio. I was whoa! He was racing there, doing the sprint race, because there was a sprint race happening, and I was oh my god! And it was fun. It was a really. Yeah, I had I had an amazing race. It was probably one of my best numbers in a 7.3.
In terms of the day of the race, how did it go? You came out in the water in the first pack?
I was in the first pack. There was a guy, Eduardo Lass, who got a little bit away in the swim because Chicão, our fellow Z2, I thought he was always the best swimmer. Yeah. Best swims, the day I can swim with Chicão, I'm set. And then we're swimming, and then I was in the feet of Lass, and then Lass got to Chicão, and then he passed Chicão, and Chicão, okay, I'm third on the line here. And Chicão lost the feet from Lass, and I couldn't bridge up. I was Chicão, come on, man. It's you, man. You cannot lose the feet. Yeah, so I had a good swim. I came out of the water just ahead of Reinaldo and Paulo and Luis Ode. And the bike, and I knew the bike in the beginning of the race, it's really important. So, because I knew Reinaldo would like to split up the group. He always does it, yeah. So I actually took charge, and I took the lead.
You went in front of him?
Yeah, I went in front of him, and then I led for the first 10K, and I noticed we had a gap, and then Reinaldo came around, and then we just started working together for the first lap.
Just the two of you?
The two of us, yeah.
Z2 team.
Yeah, I was we were taking the bull by the horns.
You did it?
Yeah. Yeah, and then so it was really.
This is a very good story.
Yeah.
Weird story of Reinaldo.
Yeah.
We'll tell this one after you tell the race.
Yeah, so and then we led the first lap of the 45K bike, and then I noticed that we were taking turns. He was really strong in the beginning. I was oh my god, I don't even know if I'm
slow down,
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to hold on. But then I started feeling better, and then I had a gap on him actually, on around 40K to go, and I grew that gap for 3 minutes because I feel he was not having a good day clearly.
Yeah.
And I was opening more and more to the other people. And then when I got to the run, I had 4 minutes.
Oh, cool.
5 minutes maybe.
You started the run with 4 minutes.
Yeah, 3 minutes to Reinaldo, but 4 minutes to the other guys. And I finished with 11 minutes in front of everyone.
Yeah.
11 minutes? I didn't know it.
Who was the second best run?
Who the second person was on the course, because
you can see him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was Gabriel Klein. He also is a Z2 athlete. Yeah, he had a good run. But I was I was opening more and more time on the run.
But he got Reinaldo on the run, Gabriel.
Yeah, he got Reinaldo. Reinaldo eventually stopped, I think. He was not having a good day, which happens. But I was it's not that I say I ran comfortably, but I didn't have to push
step on
because I was running comfortably and I was still gaining time.
What was the race that you had to step on and that I thought you were gonna die? With Matt Hansen.
Des Moines,
yeah.
That one you had to turn on the heat. No?
Yeah, and
close.
That was a really close one. But yeah, Florianópolis was a really special one.
Yeah.
And then, but you basically knew you were gonna win on the last lap.
No.
How was that?
I mean,
I think like I knew I was gonna win already on the first lap of the
first
run.
one.
I actually got too excited and started cheering everyone on. Because all my friends, like Igor, they had the CP, like the CPH, and everyone cheering me. I was like, yeah, because like I had over 7 minutes. Like I was making the math. Like I was running like 3:35s per K, 3:30s.
Nice.
I was like, there's no way I'm gonna lose 7 minutes in 10K.
Yeah.
Like unless I completely cramp and walk.
Or
So,
blackout.
Yeah, and I was just like soaking in the vibes from like all my friends. Like it was really mal. Yeah.
And you knew.
And you had a great day as well.
Yes.
yeah, and I actually didn't even know if I was gonna race because we got to Florianopolis and then like I think like that night basically or the next night I started like to feel bad, like my throat was scratchy and like started like sneezing, and then I spent like 3 days basically in and out of bed, like
Oh my God.
exhausted, like symptoms all over the place. Like, was it allergies, a cold? I don't know. And like, so up until like, I mean, on Friday I was like, André, I don't know that I can start this race. Like, I don't know if it's even possible. And we're like, okay, we'll just wait. We'll see. Like, we'll just keep going. And so that's like kind of sucks because I mean Sunday, yes, I did feel better, but I was still like coughing up like stuff. And,
You were
like,
100%.
No, and I mean, yeah, I woke up feeling the best I had felt since feeling, starting to feel sick. But in the swim, I actually felt great, and maybe we weren't moving so quickly. Like Pamela led us out to the first buoy, and basically like, I mean, we didn't know where we were going because it was so choppy, and like she basically like I was starting to go around her before we got there. We like sat up like, oh, where are we going? And like a paddleboarder like came with us the rest of the way, and so then she just sat on my feet. I tried a couple of times to gap her, but I was like, oh well, just this is a good pace. Like it's like not too hard, but strong. And so led out of the water, tried to get the T1 bonus. Didn't, missed it by a second. And then like the first 10K I felt amazing on the bike. I was like, yeah, like I'm leading out Pamela, this is great, like this is awesome. And then we get onto the highway and like I started like pushing, I'm like, okay, and then Pamela just passes me, like I'm standing still, and I try to go with her and it's like I just didn't go anywhere. And I'm like trying to push, and I was like my chest is hurting, and I'm like, oh my God, like I'm just like, okay, just ride, because like you do want to try to finish. You never know what happens, and yeah. So the bike was really poor in terms of my numbers.
What you're capable.
Like, yeah, but at least like it was still like strong endurance.
And you still finished the bike in second.
Yeah,
third.
No, third, because Bruna had actually passed me on the second lap somewhere, and I thought she had gotten like a pretty good gap on me, and we came into the last U-turn before coming back, and I was like, oh, that's 30 seconds. Like I didn't, like she must have like maybe blown it out a little bit, and I closed it back up, and so I was like, okay, just push to stay on her wheel for the rest of it, like that'll keep you mentally focused. And so I did, and then again tried to go for the T2 bonus. Didn't get it, but so came out of the run ahead of her in second after coming in just behind her. And yeah, I actually felt good on the run. Like it wasn't terribly fast, but I felt strong, and like it felt way better than the bike did. And then yeah, Bruna eventually pulled out after the first lap, but I noticed that she was like blowing back. She was going back, and that was, yeah, I basically stayed in that same position the whole way.
Nice.
And kept
Real
the
nice.
gap to
It's a
Pamela
good
the
way
whole
to end the year and start the
Yeah.
next one.
Yeah, for sure. And I was
Perfect.
happy that it was like, it wasn't like the fastest run I've had, but it's the most like present I've been mentally
nice.
to like stay in it, and like just in my head I'm like, oh, this, third place is coming after you. You cannot let off the gas. Like, and I think normally I would have maybe like given into those feelings of like, oh, I'm tired, I'm overheating, like I'm like maybe I'll blow up, but I was like, no, just foot on the gas, let's go. Like, so the mental focus I think was
Nice.
I was really proud of, because
You
didn't
have
expect-
the background of swimming,
yeah.
so you were a swimmer.
Yes, my whole
And
life.
Swimmers.
did you see
Yeah.
each other on the course?
Yes,
Yeah.
actually, yeah.
André cheered me on
Do you
every
know,
time.
like, did you know the position?
That's
and-
actually something really funny because like it's actually like it's something that keeps me like whenever I'm hurting, I was like, okay, just wait until you see Rachel, and then you say hi, like you know, because like so we saw. I always look out for her because I'm like distracts me from the pain.
She helps you.
Yeah.
It helps me from like okay, like she look, oh she's having a good day, oh she like, and I always say like hey, like I always make sure to make an
Every
effort.
time I saw it on the highway, like
Yeah.
he's like
Nice.
waving.
And she was like,
It's like me with you. But he doesn't respond me. Does she respond you?
she does.
Yeah. Half the time, but most of this is like the most of the time he's like in Des Moines, like.
You weren't racing them, why?
Yeah, no, I wasn't racing there, but you were just like.
Yeah, but it's something
like,
that it helps me to distract me from the like okay like where's she at like I think she's coming now like so
Yeah.
it's something that keeps me from the
It gets away from the stop now. You're gonna.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
hurting.
yeah.
You're hurting.
oh they're coming for you
Yeah.
so it's a nice one thing to
You have
consider.
to do
It was good to
the
see.
sign.
Yeah,
Okay, so the sign.
the sign.
Sign.
What is the sign?
Tell
The
us.
sign is Reinaldo Colucci has a very funny tradition for his. I don't know if he would like me telling this. I think he's told this already here. No.
Don't know.
No.
Maybe not. Because
So,
we knew it.
Reinaldo Colucci, when he was I think 18, he had his first race as a pro. No, I don't think pro.
Yes,
As a pro.
I think so.
And before the race, he saw Top Gun, the movie,
The OG.
and he won the race. So every race that he has now, that's an important race, he saves an old Tom Cruise movie to watch, and it's always given him a good luck for the event. So in Kona now this year, he saved the new Top Gun movie, Top Gun Maverick, to watch, and we all watched it together.
Yes.
I don't think you guys watched it. Did you watch it?
A little bit.
A little
Yeah.
You were nervous.
I was nervous.
You were
Yeah.
nervous.
The day before the race, you don't want to watch a movie.
Reinaldo has to watch the movie.
Yeah, she was.
And Reinaldo didn't do very well. And I think the problem is because the movie wasn't old.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
It was a
brand
new
new
movie.
You
Should
tell
be
it
original.
for him.
No, I think it's still a touchy subject because I tried to talk to him and he's like, I'm sorry.
He slept like 2
days.
2 days.
Yeah.
In a row.
I've never seen somebody sleep so much.
Oh my God.
He was there for
20
40
hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Renato. Oh, he's sleeping again.
Yeah.
No, but he woke up and he
No.
was
No. He was
He
like-
did not wake up. No, we didn't see him for like 16 hours after the race.
Wow, I've never seen that.
It was impressive.
Mari just left the door open and I said, oh my God, let me see if
If
breathing.
he's alive,
Yeah.
he's still
there.
Yeah.
He's breathing.
Let's call the lifeguard here.
Yeah.
We saw
Yes, yes. And Victor talked about like the sport history of you. Like you had like you were a tennis player before and a professional one.
Trying to be one. not really.
No?
Yeah.
Sabia que jogava tênis, mas.
Yeah, I played soccer all my life,
Mhm.
but tennis I took like, it was like 3 years that I was playing like 16, 20 hours a week. Like,
Wow.
yeah, I was really that like.
You were
really-
always very intense.
always very
Yes.
intense. Everything that I do, always very intense. Yeah, so it was like, and it gave me a really good like endurance base, to be honest.
I know.
Oh yeah, because like I was basically exercising for like 3-4 hours in the sun, like in Piracicaba, in the heat.
And you run like
I would
Yeah,
run
you
before
run.
the sessions, like 30, 40
Ah.
minutes.
So you were always a good runner.
Always a good runner. Actually, like my strength in tennis was running a lot and making the exercise.
You would never lose a ball.
Yeah, kind of. Try.
That was the goal.
That was a goal. That really happened all the time. But yeah. So, but yeah, tennis, and then I did a little bit of bodybuilding. Yeah.
Why is that funny? Bodybuilding is cool.
Victor did it too. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
guns.
Looks like
The guns.
The gun shows.
Yeah.
Welcome to the gun
It
show.
was actually when I got into college for like 2-3
Yeah, me
years.
too.
Yeah, just for
College
the parties and
Yeah.
stuff.
For the
surfing.
party stuff.
Yeah.
Las minas.
Yeah. And then I eventually found running because the gym would close on Sundays. So I would go running because I would love to wake up and do something. Always. All my life, I'd wake up and go do something. And then on Sundays, I would go and wake up and go run. And once I go run with this friend of mine, and we ran like a 10K for like 41 minutes. And I almost couldn't keep up with me. I was like, oh, you actually have potential.
Maybe I'm good.
Yeah, maybe I'm good, yeah. Because I didn't have a watch. I just like go and run to the bridge and back.
Nice.
Yeah.
There you go.
And you?
Oh, I started swimming at like age 4. Like I was, my mom said I was like the youngest kid at the swim practice. It was like the summer league. And I like got in the pool, like I was the only kid in that age group that could swim the whole lap without stopping, but I cried the whole way doing it. But
Really? Why?
I mean, you're 4, like you're in the
You know
pool,
what you're doing.
like it's like, you know, you're still like a toddler almost, you know. But yeah, so
you don't even remember a life without swimming?
No. Yeah, it's like and like even in elementary school we had fun runs and I would either win or get second every year from grade 1 to grade 5 and yeah, swimming went well like in the summer league and finally at age 10 I started the club league and yeah, it was just like club swimming from there. I played volleyball a little bit, only back row. For those who don't know me, I'm 5'2", so very short. But yeah, I ran cross country in middle school, ran a little bit of track, and so I'd always run and always swam. And yeah, I mean, we were swimming at 5:45 in the morning, beginning in middle school age. Like 12 years old, and swimming 20 hours a week. And I had a really we call it like the Gulf area. So I'm from Texas and. Around like the Gulf of Mexico, like that area is really strong in swimming, and so my coach was really intense, like a lot of yardage, 3-hour swim practices with dry lands on Saturdays. So we'd swim, I mean, I don't even know, like 10K on Saturday. Swam in college.
I'm getting tired already.
Yeah.
Peter's like,
swam in college, walked onto the cross country team in college, and yeah, I mean, I'd always been interested in triathlon. Like my mom and I would watch all the ITU races and Kona and like the
Where
ABC.
did you go to college?
It's called Centenary College of Louisiana, so it's like a small D1 liberal arts school that eventually dropped to D3 because of funding. But
and you graduated liberal arts?
Yeah, history and political science.
Nice. And you're an engineer.
Yeah.
Engineer.
I actually just got my diploma.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
After 5 years.
I know, because I was gonna like do a master's program to teach like at the school, and then John Cobb from Cobb Cycling, they create bike saddles.
Yeah.
Like right out of graduating, I had already started triathlon. They had a club team in college, and they got me started in triathlon, and so I was doing well, of course, because I mean I was swimming really strong,
Yes.
and so I was winning races already, and the Cobb Cycling was wanting to add a women's division, very focused, women specific, everything, and for their company, and they were 90 miles away, an hour and a half, and he said, do you want to come work for me at this salary and be a full-time women's specialist for us? And I said, absolutely, yes. So basically my whole degree went out the window, and I went immediately into the triathlon cycling endurance industry. But it was great. He really helped me to get started into triathlon. I learned how to bike fit. I learned how to wrench on bikes. I learned a lot about the industry from that experience, and that helped me in the career.
What year was that?
I started December of 2014 and worked for him until I think about late 2016.
And he's based in Texas.
Mm-hmm. It's a different company now. Went through a lot of
changes.
Yes, a lot of
I've had a saddle
turbulence.
from I think it was like J
The
cup.
55.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it was a very good sound.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
And-
so it had a lot of turbulence, and now I think it's pretty steady along.
Cool. Yeah.
And when did she move to Boulder, Paulo? Do you know that?
I don't know.
When she met André.
No, yes.
Love at first
Oh,
sight.
yeah, but
I was
No,
there
no.
for a year before.
Yeah.
July of 2018 was when I moved.
And you moved because of triathlon.
Hmm. I was coached by Siri Lindley at the time,
Mhm.
and I had done a couple camps with her in Boulder, and then finally I said, like, if I want to seriously do this, like, I need to move and go, and I had a place to stay, and so I just like packed up some suitcases.
Is it the best place in the world to train?
I don't know about the world, but
I mean,
it's strong.
yeah, for me, I think like it is, to be
Yeah.
honest. Yeah.
Man,
During the
what
summer-
other place?
During the summer, I mean, the winter can be a little challenging, like with the outside.
winter is bad.
But like during the summer, I don't see any other
Yeah.
better place to train.
There's just so many options. You can climb a mountain, or you could ride flat for 6 hours.
And any time of the day,
Yeah.
we should open Z2 there. And
definitely.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
will be there.
Do you think Dumb and Dumber would be a success there?
I don't know.
You guys would be on the moped, like pacing
yeah.
Z2 athletes on the moped.
Singing a song and.
Yeah.
Oh,
See, the best part is Estes Park, which is just up the mountain from us. They actually filmed Dumb and Dumber at that hotel.
No, so you have to go.
Really?
So you have to go
Oh my
You
god.
have to go.
and
Yeah.
fulfill the destiny.
And it's- Our first US store is gonna be there.
In Boulder.
No, and the place where Dumb and Dumber
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the part.
shot
Yes.
the movie.
We're gonna go next year to USA.
You guys should,
together.
yeah.
Yes.
To Boston.
True.
nice.
We're gonna run
Yeah.
the Boston Marathon.
Yeah.
Which is like, oh, I forgot.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell my wife. Whoops. If you're watching.
But let's talk about next year.
Yeah. Plans.
Next year.
The plans.
The plans.
What is the number one goal for each of you? Get pregnant.
Oh, absolutely.
André já levou.
We have spent enough time in the house with his sister.
Yeah, my sister has 2 newborns.
No, she has a newborn
Yeah.
and basically
it's
a
the same
3-year-old.
setup as me.
And
Yeah.
we were like, we've got
It's
time.
a lot of work.
Man.
We've got time.
That's,
Like,
that's
Oh,
real work,
I don't
man.
know. How
I'm 31.
and you?
I'm 30.
30.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's real
It's
work.
a lot of work, man.
It's a lot of work. I'm tired, more tired from watching babies than training.
Yeah.
No, we
If
talked-
you're
we were
serious
talking
about performing triathlon, I wouldn't recommend.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we
Thank
don't
you.
have the support system.
No, not you. You have to. You're old. You have
No.
to. You have to find a
No.
woman and.
I have a win in triathlon. I can be professional.
No.
one day.
Yeah.
Oh.
No.
Yeah, no. No,
You're-
I'm not going.
Focus on finding a girl. And
Come to sushi with us.
Yes, yes.
so
No, sorry.
back to you guys.
Yeah, sorry.
Number one plan next year. Not babies. The next one.
Maybe do my first Ironman.
Ooh.
Yeah. That's the goal.
Do you know where?
Not yet.
No, cool.
Maybe Cozumel. I don't
Ah.
know. We'll
More-
see. We'll
more-
see how it progresses.
More to the beginning or to the end of the year.
Probably more towards the end,
Okay.
Okay.
just to build up proper volume.
Yeah, I haven't gave much thought yet, but because I'm just like surfing the hype from the win in Florianopolis, which was really like it meant a lot for me. I'm just like trying to calm down, enjoying that. But think about it right now. I think my biggest goal is like to win an Ironman, and I haven't fully announced it yet, but like I might try to do it in Florianopolis next year.
Boom!
Oh my god!
You heard it first here.
2 years in a row will be the most powerful business in the world. Z2.
Yeah. So.
Yes.
Yeah, com Lute ano passado,
Yes,
né, logo
exactly.
assim.
Yeah, so I mean that could be an amazing goal to win at my first Ironman, where I did my
Oh
first
my
Ironman.
God.
That would be really
Yeah.
special. But yeah, at the end of the day, I just want to keep improving and keep having better performance and keep getting closer to the top guys in the world. which is show that like, yeah, I did Ironman Florianopolis at 70.3, and I was like, oh, okay, I think I'm in a good level compared to the guys here. It's not that they're not a good level, it's just like I have been getting my ass beat outside, and like I know the level of racing outside in the West is really strong. So yeah, I mean, I think I have a good shot to having good performance here. I don't know who's gonna show up or anything, but like it could be. I think I have the tools to win here. So because I know the course, like my.
So that's another question. So full distance. So we're talking about Ironmans. Last year was your first Ironman.
Yes.
Pro Ironman.
Literally
First
like
pro Ironman.
12 months ago in Cozumel. Pro Ironman. Yeah.
And then you went from first pro Ironman to how many Ironman did you do last year? One. This year one more.
I did
then
2 more.
Yeah.
So I did last year I did Cozumel, which was my
Cozumel.
first Ironman that I raced. Because as an age group I didn't really race it. It's a little bit different. This year I did 3 Ironmans in 12 months basically. I did Cozumel in November, and then Des Moines in June, and Kona, which Kona was the worst of them by numbers.
The worst of them by numbers, by
by
hurting.
By hurting. Because I probably overtrained leading into Kona. That's the end of the story. Yes.
Yeah.
Looking back right now, I
pushed a little bit.
I pushed a little bit too much before the race, which happens to half of the field.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Very, very fast rise now, because if you take the athletes that we see here in Brazil, they struggle a lot to get a spot in Kona, and they've been in the Ironman circuit for a while. So like basically in your first year, you already went to Kona, you already performed really well, even though you say you overtrained, you did perform really well. You went for 8 hours and 20 something.
Yeah.
So I think it's safe to say that it was a really awesome year for you.
Yeah.
And but do you think, like, in terms of distances, because I don't know if there's like some athletes say that it's better to go to the longer distances when you're older and keep to the shorter distances. Do you think it's time to, both of you guys, do you think it's time to start going to longer distances now?
Nowadays I don't think it really matters, because everyone is performing all the distances.
The Norwegians do everything.
But I feel like the 70.3 is really important for you to get speed, becomes faster, learn how to race, and whenever you go to the Ironman, it feels like a joke. It feels easy. Yeah. If you're pacing it right and you have the tools, like have the power to, if you have the right training to translate from 70.3 to Ironman. But I do feel like the longer distance is my calling. Is where I'm gonna actually perform in the world stage, because the 70.3 has become Olympic distance right now, and the Ironman has become a 70.3 kind of. And I don't go much slower in Ironman than I go in a 7.3. Like I was even thinking Charlie Florianopolis, I could have kept that pace on that day. Like
for 42, for
maybe I would have slowed down a little bit, but not much. Because I was
30.
But yeah, I feel like it's.
And the course was longer as well.
The course was super long. Which
22K.
It was like I'm like on the front of first loop. This is not gonna be right, because I never wear a watch, and I'm now using all the data that I can. I was wearing a watch and tried to pace. I was like, this is not gonna be right. But I was having a good day, so I didn't really care.
Paul is not a fan of courses that don't promise, don't keep their promises.
Yes, actually, because in Patagon
he started.
It was
crying.
44, right?
Yeah.
44, yeah.
That's tough.
I would cry.
Vini told me you started crying.
That's tough though. In an Ironman, you're like
he hit 42 and then he stopped running and was like, "It's supposed to be here."
I've just quit.
It's supposed to be here.
I just sit and start to cry.
I'm not going any further.
What is it? A point-to-point race? Point-to-point run?
Yes.
Yeah.
Race, literally.
Race. Yeah,
because
literally,
the bike goes through
That's
three
fun.
different.
Yeah. Whenever they organize and mess up the run course that is a loop, is a little. Come on, guys. Have you done like a?
No, they do that on purpose in Patagon. They
Yeah,
say it.
Yeah. That's fun. And the normal race, I agree. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
He almost got lost in the beginning.
Yes, because
Oh, God.
the first 10K were in a farm, and there is not
A path.
the something like a path, like there's nothing. I just find a way because I saw a guy up in the climbing the mountain. I said, oh, maybe I have to go to there. You know?
Oh my
yes,
gosh.
yes, something like that. But it's funny. It's the part of the game.
Yeah.
That's a different
For the-
proposal of event.
Yeah. And what about your team, the falling race team?
Waterfall.
Waterfall.
Falling race. Water falling. Like.
Yeah, this has been honestly, it's been like a game changer this year because it kind of like gave us a lot of financial support. We're able to travel to races and don't really like worry too much about like
How we're gonna
Making
get
a
solely
living.
the outcome
Yeah.
of the race. It's getting better next year. We actually have a project that we're actually moving out of the basement finally to
Yeah.
in a
Cool.
house that we're gonna sponsor 2 new athletes.
There you go.
Yeah, so we're moving to this house. We're actually before Challenge for Novice was ridiculous because
we've
like
spent
we're
a
like-
week moving.
we're like not a week, we're like 3 weeks like moving.
Wow.
Like
Yeah.
and that's why I didn't train much. After I was gonna do Cozumel, I was like I cannot do Cozumel. I was like so wasted from
I'm just
Kona, and I just rested and did well in Florida.
Oh, you told me he had an injury.
No, he told me.
I had a strain, muscle strain. So
André is crazy, man. I asked him. The 3 Sports magazine announced that he was gonna race Cozumel. I'm like, André, you said you weren't gonna race Cozumel. And he's like, I'm not gonna race Cozumel. Like, why are you on the magazine, the Transport magazine, saying you're racing? I'm not doing that. Saying
yeah. But yeah, anyway, we have the waterfall racing is a really good. It's a
We'll
really
have
good
to
team.
load them up
Yeah.
with some Z2.
Yeah, we will.
nutrition.
We have like 2 young kids that are gonna live with us in a house, and it's a pro project. They're trying to
Yeah.
become pro athletes,
Nice.
so they're gonna live in the same house as we, and we're actually neighbors to Timo and Rini.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a really cool experience, and we're gonna have like our own space. We're gonna share with them, but it's a huge house in Boulder, so
Z2 house.
No,
Yeah.
I said
No?
waterfall. No?
No, but
Well, we can
supported by Z2.
See.
part of
Yeah.
it, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So it'll be-
Fueled by Z2.
Fueled by
by
Z2.
Z2.
Yes. Yeah, so it's really cool. I mean, the whole goal of Waterfall is to just like continue this momentum and keep bringing more momentum into triathlon, how, PTO is done, and trying to like kind of build a big community and everything. And so having this like pro project of having, opening it to somebody like 18 to 25, and so many people have, they can go like an ITU route or anything, but it's really hard to get into like long distance triathlon on your own unless you have, XYZ already set up. And so we're trying to, people that are on the verge of becoming a pro, but there's just, too many barriers in their current life, and trying to give them that opportunity to go the next step and being there for them. And I think it'll be really fun. We'll have like a whole YouTube
Definitely.
series on it.
But the
and-
idea is very nice.
Yeah.
Cool. And there's a Brazilian girl. Isn't
There's a Brazilian girl. We revealed them like 2 weeks. There was
2
like
nights
over
ago.
100
Oh, yeah.
applicants, and
Yeah.
2 nights ago we toned it down to like 10. So they're supposed to send a video
By this weekend.
So we're actually, and the funny part is that we're like me and
André.
Rachel, Justin and Jeannie Matzler, who was second in the world in St. George, and Tim and Rini, and then the guys from Waterfall. So it's really funny, and it's like we actually it's gonna be hard to pick.
It will be.
And the funny thing, because they get a free trip to Boulder, they get a visa to stay, like
Wow, that's so awesome.
1 year, and they get $1,000 a month. Which
Yeah.
is like, I was telling the guys, like, I hadn't had sponsors like that pay me that much money after like literally this year. Like
Yeah.
the first 4 years of my life, I was like barely touching
nice.
that kind of money. Like,
Yeah.
so it's a good opportunity.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah.
And
free
I
housing.
feel like
Free
free
housing.
housing too, and free experience, which I think is the
Boulder.
most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's something that Brazil lacks a lot. I don't know that if that's one of the reasons why you went to the States, but it's companies that value that kind of like professionalism in sport.
Yeah.
Because here it looks like especially from a entrepreneurial, from a company standpoint, that 99% of the companies look only to the commercial, purely like short-term commercial part of it. So who sells more gels? André Lopes or Pugliese? On the short term, probably Pugliese.
Yeah.
But for the long term of the brand building, who do you want to be associated with? An influencer that just posts bikini pictures, or with someone that's actually living the sport and uses the product and knows what he's talking about. And so you see the inversion of the change of values and how you build a brand that's actually stands for something here. And I think that in the States, mostly companies value those kind of athletes and kind of people that stand for what their brand is supposed to stand for.
Yeah.
So they invest in that kind of stuff more. Here it's like we're alone. Invest like what other brand of carbs do you know that invest in athletes?
No.
And
Actually,
I see that from what we did, we pulled a lot of other brands with us.
The way that we are doing, there is no one.
We pulled a lot of other brands with us as well.
Yes.
We see Jungle, other
Yes.
brands that see what we're doing, and then we want to do that too.
Yes.
And it's tough in the beginning because you have to also communicate well with the clients, with the people to justify what you're talking about. So the product also has to be very good. So
Which it is, thankfully.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, let's just Victor talk. Okay, just talk.
Nossa.
There's no.
Oh my
there's no
God,
one here.
you're so.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wanna know about the YouTube project.
How's it going?
The channel and
When are you gonna hire Vini to
We
to make some videos for
we're
you?
desperately looking for someone to help
Yeah.
us because it's been
Talking about that balance again.
yeah, I mean we started in COVID, so it was easy. We were training together. We could only train together.
Yeah.
And now she has a different coach. She had a different coach.
Oh, really? I didn't know it.
Yeah, I'm switching coaches next year, so we're gonna start training together more. So it's hard because it's like another stress in your life.
Yeah, it's
Another
another
thing.
responsibility. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's another responsibility on top of all the responsibilities that you have.
Okay.
So in the beginning of this season was easier, but then once start getting to the championship series, it's hard to put the camera in front of each other and try to do something.
Yeah.
Vaza.
Yeah, so we kind of stopped after.
Oh.
Yeah, I know we didn't stop. We just we still have we just been
still
struggling to
random
put it
footage,
together. But yeah, we did the Kona. We put out at least
We put out a lot
20,
of
25
this
videos.
year.
We had we actually made an episode series this year. Episode 1, I think we're episode 26.
Yeah.
So I still put quite a lot of videos.
But it's a tough job. Yeah.
It's a tough job, but we definitely now I think we have a little bit more of a budget to maybe hire someone to get the content and to put it out there more frequently.
Yeah.
Because it is an area that we have grown so much on YouTube over the past years, and it's really valuable for the brands as well that we work with, because it just show a little bit more of a real life than an Instagram story. We try to do a really good job on Instagram, which is but I think we both know the value of having a
An inside look.
inside look of
and it's more authentic because
It's
you
more-
can speak more
Yeah.
about what you're doing.
It's deeper.
Yeah.
It's
deeper,
Yeah, so we definitely have plans to make it a little bit more professional. We just didn't have the time or the money this year to put in and make it. We made it ourselves again.
Yeah.
Whenever we came to the championship season, the stress, the emotions become a little hard to do.
You guys are
ourselves.
good at editing.
Yeah, it's a lot
We
of
do
fun.
ourselves,
And I think it was even more rewarding as we gained momentum, because we'd be running and they'd be like, "Chasing Triathlon, I love your channel," and you get a boost while you're racing.
Yeah, in the US, a lot of
it's crazy.
Yeah. In the US, I think Brazil is getting. They're getting more used to YouTube right now, but in the US, you go to races, they know us from our YouTube channel than our Instagrams.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a
crazy.
different crowd. Yeah.
So
it's a different crowd.
It's a different crowd.
Yeah.
I'm
Not
feeling
crown,
it.
Paul. Crowd.
Crowd. Crown is the crown.
The crown.
You are the king. Master king
Ah,
of...
you speak English, my friend.
I speak English, my friend.
Yeah.
Chicken fly.
Chicken
Talk
fly.
about the chicken fly.
Fly is what Paulo is doing in triathlon.
Chicken fly.
Do you know the chicken fly story?
It's
Yeah,
chicken
yeah,
fly. It's the technical term, chicken fly.
Yes.
Chicken fly is voo da galinha in Portuguese.
Portuguese.
And chicken fly is when you start off something and the guy goes very well and it looks like he's gonna do well, but
It
chickens
just
don't
falls
fly.
out of the air.
Exactly. So chicken fly is what Paul is doing.
What
What?
did you see?
What?
What did you see in Kona, André? Who
I-
won?
Who won the battle of life?
Yeah.
You won, my friend.
Yeah.
Congratulations. But there will be retorno.
And André
Rematch.
won against Reinaldo. Do you remember?
True. So you guys are the winners.
Yes. Yes.
But I had bet on Victor, and then you and Reinaldo had bet on Paulo. So
Yeah,
we're
and
like
I bet
1-1.
on Reinaldo.
We have to have a
And
rematch.
we inverted because you
I
bet
against
on.
uh,
Em quem você apostou? No one, because
no one.
you're a Zé political.
No, I bet Reinaldo at the finish line.
Now you get to say to us, chupa.
Yes. Or suck.
In English it's uglier.
Ah, really?
It's more like
Sorry.
yeah. No suck. And that's why we're dumb and dumber.
Yes, exactly.
Guys, I think we'd like to thank you for your time here today and for the year that we've had together. For next year as well. It's going to be a great year, and
It will be continued, like they will be Z2 athletes.
obviously
Yeah.
they're here today because of this. We're signing the new deal.
We're signing.
You didn't realize this was actually business.
Exactly.
Just
So
the extra.
serious business.
Yeah. And we're gonna visit him.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we need to plan a
Really?
trip. Yeah, we need to plan a trip to Boulder.
Let's go.
This is being filmed, so now you guys have to
Yeah,
actually
the
come.
number.
No, we will be going to Boulder, but we need to talk to my wife first.
The boss, the real boss.
The real
You're the
boss.
real boss.
The real.
Guys, thanks a lot.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you guys.
And that is it.
Ciao.